Hello you guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. It's been a while actually, and don't worry, we will explain why.
When she said we, she means me.
Chatty's here.
Her and me.
We kind of coordinate, babe.
Oh, look at
that.
Is this symbolism?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so speaking of, we will get to that. We're gonna talk about where we've been, what's been going on, how this pregnancy's going, kind of like pull back the curtain on everything that's been going on in our lives. But first and foremost, we do wanna thank Hillsdale for sponsoring this video. You guys know how obsessed we are. And if you are following over on Instagram, I was sharing how I've been obsessed with studying 1 Samuel. I don't think I even realized just the richness of the stories in 1 Samuel. And then I was gonna jump straight to 2 Samuel, but then I remembered that Hillsdale has an entire course on the David story, and it takes you completely through 1 and 2 Samuel. And so I was like, you know what, actually rewind. I'm gonna go back. And so I started the David story. We started this day. You actually did the David story already, and you're redoing it. He did it last year, and he literally still talks about this particular course so often, and I didn't get to finish going through it last year. So I restarted the whole thing, and even just with lesson 2, there is so many impactful moments. Like, I cannot more highly recommend going through this class.
You guys, I can talk about Hillsdale courses till I'm blue in the face. Right now, if you go to hillsdale.edu/masters, it'll take you to the David story, Shepherd, Father, King, which is probably one of my favorite courses from them. Yeah. But I do need to press rewind real quick. There's another course that we just did last month that we were talking about, and it's called the Genesis story. And if I could just take a minute and share something that hit me in my gut that I was not prepared for.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
I was so ill prepared, and this is why we want you guys to take advantage of these free courses, is because it'll illuminate things you didn't know were there, and it'll change the narrative and the dynamic in a good way. So let me just explain. You all have probably heard the story of Abraham and Isaac, and when God has called him to go sacrifice Isaac. It's a hard story. Yeah. It's a really hard story, especially as a father who has little boys. It's tough, right? And you see this obedience from Abraham, and most of what you hear is like Abraham fully believed that God would revive Isaac. Yeah. One thing that you may not have known is that scripture points to Isaac not being how old we think he typically is, which is maybe in his late toddler years or a young teenager, like a boy.
I've always thought like 7, 8, like the, I don't know, like
scripture points to him being in his mid-30s. Yeah. Do you know who else is in his mid-30s? This guy. Yeah. Do you know what 100-plus-year-old man is going to make this guy in his mid-30s physically submit to being on an altar for that? Yeah. No, there's no way that's happening to me. And then when I'm putting myself in Isaac's shoes, in what world is it happening to him? Only in the world where he submits to the will of the Father. You see Abraham submitting to the will of God, and you see Isaac submitting to the will of his father. Yeah. And it's just such a beautiful picture. And it just totally illuminated the whole story, and it changed a lot of perspective about the need of submission of 2 people in that story. And so that's just one piece. That was literally 2 minutes inside of one video, inside of one lesson, inside of one course. Yeah. And so go check out hillsdale.edu/masters. Again, it'll take you to the David Shepherd, Father, King, which is the link in the description. But check out all the courses, totally worth your time.
I want to share one more thing too, because that's what really stood out to him, because he's a father. And then when I'm going through the David story, it backs up, and it actually starts with Hannah's story. I literally can't share this pregnant. Are you kidding me? It starts with Hannah's story. I talk about this a little bit over. I already talked about it on Instagram, but it's like this moment that's really like captivated my heart. And it talks about Hannah's faith and how she prays with her whole soul, her whole heart. Lord, why have you not blessed me with children? To the point where the priest at the time literally thought that she was drunk. That's how like engulfed in prayer she was. And then once God gives her son Samuel, after he's weaned, she literally drops him back off at the tabernacle for his life to be fully on mission for God. And they're talking about this in the course of how she probably weaned him, like she probably breastfed like as long as she possibly could.
He's in his mid-30s.
And but just like that type of full obedience and surrender, knowing that she had said like, Lord, if you give me a child, I will literally give him back to you. And I just like, as a mom, again, of two like little boys, I literally can't imagine like just weaning my child and then like dropping him off at the tabernacle. Like, oh, it just like wrecked me. And I don't know why it didn't hit me the way that it did until there's something about this professor. He's the same professor who does the Genesis story, the Exodus story, the David story. Like he just really like pinpoints something. And the way he teaches is so powerful. And so again, I know that we could literally probably talk about Hillsdale for 30 minutes, but these courses are so impactful. And if y'all have been around for a long time, you know our really good friend Kelly, and Kelly was in town the other day and I was talking about something I'd learned in the course, and she's like, you really love these courses. And I'm like, yes, they're so good. And she was like, are they like actually free or is there a catch? And I'm like, no, they're literally actually free. She's like, I don't understand. And so I had to take her to the website and show her that she could actually enroll for free. And she was like mind blown. I'm like, what do you think we've been talking about this whole time? She always thought that there was a catch, but there's no catch. It actually is like too good to be true. All of these courses, there's really over 40 like just available and free, and they will bless you so much. Okay. We love you, Hillsdale. Thank you for all that you do. Okay, what we are actually trying to come on and share is just what's been going on behind the scenes over here, and kind of apologize because I feel like we came back to YouTube this year. I was really jacked and really excited to show up on this platform again, and then life started happening. We have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old little boy. I'm over halfway pregnant already, which is just mind-blowing.
It's flying by.
It is flying by. And then we also are renovating our house, and I just don't really think I realized how big of a project that would be.
Sorry if it looks like I'm getting comfortable. My arm, if you guys can see, if you cut back, I want to focus on you, but I'm like struggling right now.
He always struggles when we
His bed is so squishy. There we go.
I don't think I realized how many little decisions were gonna have to be made on what feels like the daily for that house. And I feel like it's just taken a lot of my like brain power during nap times and different things. I feel like I've been like, oh, I need to research like lighting or this or that needs to like happen. And I haven't necessarily just like sat down to record a video. And so I did just want to apologize. We love YouTube. We have so much we want to share on YouTube. At the same time, I had this like weird realization, or we kind of both did. What, a month and a half ago, probably? That video I shared with you guys about kind of feeling like I lost my voice a little bit. I realized that I wasn't looking at Instagram as fun anymore, and I was just kind of looking at it honestly as a way to push people to YouTube or push people to our podcast. And I forgot how much fun I have showing up just on the daily on Instagram, because you can just like film and post it, which is a little different than YouTube. With YouTube, it's more of a production. You have to get it edited, and you have to it's a little bit more of a process, okay?
I have such a weird analogy for this, and you guys can totally roast me for this, but for me, posting on Instagram is like doing a home workout in your underwear, where posting on YouTube is like getting your full gym clothes on, driving to the gym, getting a hard workout, getting a smoothie afterwards, and coming home. Both are great. One is a lot easier to accomplish than the other one. And it's just, it kind of sometimes depends on the season you're in too, in terms of, wow, we don't have much time. I need to just do a quick home workout, so to speak. And so that's where it kind of came about.
Yeah. And so we've been trying to be more consistent on Instagram, and I feel like my focus really kind of went over to that platform in the last month.
So you didn't lose your voice in like the past month and a half. You just redirected it. So if you guys have wondered
where we've been.
Tori's been absolutely crushing the short form game, and I've been posting some fun little encouraging things about my journey that you guys have known about for the past few years in terms of my relationship with God and my prayer life and stuff. So,
and if you like vlog style content, I've been particularly loving his vlog style reels. He has a lot of really funny, like comical ones that will 100% make y'all laugh too, but I feel like your vlog ones are like where it's at.
I love it.
And so we've been doing a lot over there, and I feel like I almost had to like get my footing back of like, oh, this is what it looks like to show up on this platform, and then kind of reintegrate YouTube again. And so that's where we are, and we're excited to like officially be back. And I do think there's been like a little bit of hesitation because we haven't announced the gender or anything.
There's definitely been some areas where we haven't wanted to show up until we announce.
And so I do feel like because the last video I was like, don't worry, we're gonna announce soon. But then we were like, let's wait till the anatomy scan because so many people are like, sneak peeks get it wrong all the time. and there's a special way that we like wanna announce that we haven't had a chance to film yet. And so I feel like I just kept pushing things back. So I was like, it's weird to just show up and then like not be able to talk about the big elephant in the room. And so that has also kind of been this like mental block for me. Is like, oh, I want to post this, and this video after we announce the gender, which we have confirmed the gender as of last week at the anatomy scan. And so it will be coming soon. We just have to like film this little fun thing I want to film. And so.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some questions. Ooh, I need to get a thing for the battery.
Okay.
Is it good?
Okay, Cammie's plugged in. We're all good.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with some questions. You're what, 22 weeks pregnant? 21?
22.
You're 22 weeks pregnant. We haven't really shared a lot. How's pregnancy going?
This pregnancy has been the easiest one yet. It's been the fastest one yet. And I do feel like it's because there's so much going on in our lives that I haven't really been able to just like sit and process or think, or if I don't feel good, I still have so much going on that I just feel like I'm like, let's just push through. Or if I'm exhausted, honestly, lately I've been taking naps with Micah, which has been really sweet. That's like another side note is a lot of like my personal alone time used to come from after Micah went to bed. Like I always have a little bit in the morning, but it's like 30 minutes maybe before Noah wakes up. But then Micah used to go to bed at like 7:30 and then I would have like a solid 2 hours by myself. But ever since we went to Turks and Caicos, Micah's been in the bed with us, which honestly, we're just embracing right now. It's really sweet. He's super snuggly, and we know when we transition back to the house, he's gonna get his big boy room and all the things. And I don't know if it's just being pregnant or what, but I'm like, gosh, he's just gonna feel so big when new baby gets here. And he just, guys, can I just tell you?
He's very sweet.
He literally wants to like put his face up to my face and just snuggle, and he'll be like, Mama, and you just snuggle me, and that's my love language, is physical touch and cuddles. And so I feel like it's been filling my love tank, but at the same time, my just like alone time tank has not been.
It's non-existent.
It just hasn't really been there at all. And so I do feel like where I typically would like lay in bed and just like watch baby move while I'm like watching a show or doing whatever is filled more with just like time with Micah right now. So yeah, I feel like I just haven't had as much time to like process this pregnancy.
Yeah, and I feel like that'll almost preach, not to get too deep on it, but what's that thing you'd always say that like what you focus on you magnify, or what's the thing? What is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
See, I listen, husbands listen, where it's so true that the first pregnancy for Tori, it was like every single little thing. You know, if it's a heartburn thing, and that's not to minimize any of these struggles, but it's just when your focus has to be divided to, you know, the pregnancy plus the 1-year-old plus the 2-year-old plus her needy husband, it really does kind of show that, wow, like we probably made things a little bit more difficult the first two because we had the luxury of just stewing or worrying or stressing about it. And so whatever.
A lot of y'all have actually asked me like about pregnancy anxiety and different fears and different things like that. And I did struggle a lot more with that with my first pregnancy. Like a lot more fear, a lot more anxiety, like first trimester. Like, of course there was the excitement, but then there's also like, it was coupled with a lot of fear and worry. And I just, the third go round, don't feel like I've really experienced any of that. And I'm sure that's a testament just to God's grace and what I learned in the other pregnancies. But then again, it's not something that I focused on at all.
Okay, so next question is where are we at with the home? Like, timeline, what phase are we in, what's going on? This is a sensitive subject between the two of us.
This is a spicy topic because
I'm optimistic.
Chad is way more optimistic than me. And this actually, I will say, that, I don't know, comment below if this surprises you about us or not, because Chad lives on the optimistic side of life, and I tend to live a little bit more on like the realistic side of life. And I think it's a beautiful balance because there's so many things in our life that would not have come to be without his optimism and the way he dreams. But it's just a little spicy because when timelines keep getting pushed back, I get a little upset, and timelines just...
Yeah, it's tough. Right now we're in the drywall phase. Which is...
Are we though?
See? Listen, here's what I'm gonna say.
Guys, we should have started drywall weeks ago.
We're working on it. Because Tori and I are designing this renovation, there were a few snags where there were some changes that we had to make and things that if you work with a designer, which we do recommend, but they're kind of really expensive. And so, but there's decisions you have to make that a professional should be making that we're trying to learn.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so there's just been some stuff there, but I think we're gonna make up some time. I do believe that.
When do you think we'll move in?
I think that we'll be in by May 12th. All right, let's see. This will be interesting. Do you want to
know my thought?
Yes. What is your thought?
My thought is that we will be in by May 22nd because that is their deadline.
Yeah.
Because that's how long we have the apartment till.
We'll see. I did not renew the lease, so that's operating in faith.
Yep. We might be moving in without some lights and mirrors and things in the house, and that's fine.
Yep.
Funny note on that is we're on floor bed because we were originally only supposed to be in this apartment for like 3 months.
Yeah, like
and
2 or 3.
2 or 3 months. And we're like, oh, we'll just like not worry about it. That way we don't have like a bed here that we have to like break down and then retransfer. And the bed frame that I like really liked, and it was honestly a really great price for a really good bed. At that time, the delivery was like 2 to 4 weeks. Well, now we're like 4-ish plus weeks out. I'm gonna go because we need to start ordering some things. And now it doesn't ship for like 6 to 10 weeks.
Yeah,
and I'm
crazy.
like, just the little things. But that's what I mean. There's so much random like decisions and like so many, and I'm really bad on my phone sometimes. Like I'll get on Pinterest to find something that I pinned a while ago that has a link to a product, and then all of a sudden I'm in a totally different space designing the boys' rooms, and I'm just like, wait, what am I even doing right now? And then I get a text message, and I need to like pray for some self-control and some time management stuff when making all of these decisions on my phone with children running around.
There's a quote that I love that's like, perfect is the enemy of good, or perfect is the enemy of done. And so kind of where I'm at is like good and done are way better than perfect. And stuff can be changed, stuff can be adapted. Yeah. But, you know, it being done and good, and then we move on. Okay. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So hopefully this video was enlightening in terms of where we've been, what's been going on, that you will get a gender reveal very, very soon. We're over halfway through this pregnancy and it's been going great. No complications, healthy baby.
Praise God.
What's wild is the thought that we will have birthed 3 babies in 3 different houses in less than 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
We tend to take on the crazy over here, which I know can not bode well with consistency on platforms. So again, our apologies, and I hope you do know that our desire is to show up here way more consistently because we love you guys, and this does feel like a place where we can just sit down and have a conversation and chat with you and catch up in a long form way, because y'all know that we are very long-winded. So
my goodness gracious, we are. But there's a question that we actually we're talking about that we didn't answer in this video.
Yeah.
Because we both said, hey, that would be so much better in a long form, just a single off video. But it's going to be about what it looked like for us to rediscover our voices and our confidence and competence.
Yeah.
And like what that journey was and why we felt so weird.
Yeah.
To how we feel navigating forward. And so there'll be a whole separate video on that one.
Oh, one other thing that I did want to give y'all an update on is talks with Tori, because that was something that I brought up in one of the like most recent videos, because I really wanted to bring back talks with Tori, and it kind of went into like rediscovering my voice and wanting to show up in that way. And to be honest, it was like a serious conversation with God that was a little bit tough, because I have had energy this pregnancy and I want to take on too much to where he's reeling me back a little bit for my yeses to be yeses and my no's to be no's. And I had to like actually take a very sober look at my plate. And with a podcast like that, when you're coordinating with different guests and just that whole side of it, it just was like, okay, this is not quite the season to bring it back. And if you watch the video that I did with Alyssa Bethke, it rings very true in my head a lot what she was talking about. And it was all about the pressure for women to do it all right now. And the Lord just very much like comforted me that there will be a season where I'm not as needed by my young children, and I will probably grieve that, right? Like I will grieve the fact that they don't need me as much, but they need me right now. And so I love that, and I want that, and I don't want to miss out on that. And so I know that there'll be another season where there's a lot more like women ministry type content and ideas. And honestly, like I want to do retreats and I want to do conferences, and like there's so much that I want and feel like God has called me to do, but I have not yet felt the peace to actually step into a lot of those things right now. And that's okay. And that's something that God's really been teaching me, is that there are seasons for a reason, and I'm gonna miss out on the beauty of being present in this season if I'm just like thinking about what all he's called me to in the big picture, and it kind of takes me out of like what's happening right now, and what really needs my focus and attention. So hopefully that encourages you too. Like maybe God has put a really big dream on your heart, but maybe you are in the season of stewarding little lives and little souls, and maybe that's just not the season right now, and that's okay. Like it is okay to not do it all at once. Like he will grace you when you're supposed to walk into something else.
Amen.
Yeah.
Don't forget, go to hillsdale.edu/masters, or click on the link in the description and check out those free courses.
Free.
I would love to do like a thing on Instagram, like what has been revealed to other people that we haven't caught on to, what like blew their minds. So maybe we'll do something like that. But
for sure, a lot of y'all have messaged me about some of the courses y'all have done, and you've been blown away. And so it's really fun when y'all let us know that.
Yeah, love you.
Love you guys, and we'll be seeing you in a gender reveal coming very soon.